As you can see, I own the poster for this movie. And with that said, let's get the obvious out of the way. I don't hate Star Wars. Star Wars: A New Hope is a sci-fi movie written and directed by George Lucas and stars Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. The story follows Luke Skywalker, who joins forces with a Jedi Knight, a cocky pilot, a Wookiee and 2 droids, as they attempt to save the galaxy from the Empire's world-destroying Death Star, as well as attempting to save Princess Leia from the mysterious Darth Vader. So just to give you guys a heads up, there'll be spoilers in this review, so I'll be covering some elements of the plot, as well as some character details as well, so that's your warning if you haven't seen the movie. The story that George Lucas conceived, it's so refreshing, in that it mixes your familiar world-building mythology with characters and settings that feel grounded and real. And that's why I love not only this movie, but just the franchise as a whole, is that when the movies get it right, they allow me to be swept up in the intergalactic journey that our heroes go through. Lucas always stated that he found it easier to start a story in the middle, as he wasn't good at establishing the origins of a plot. And that's another aspect that I love about A New Hope, is that you're kind of playing catch up with the plot, but in a good way. This is where the original trilogy differs from the prequels, in that the original trilogy would basically show you what's happening, whereas the prequels would literally spoon feed you with lots of exposition as to what's taking place on screen. Luke Skywalker, who's now forever immortalised in popular culture, has a very interesting character arc in this movie, in that he doesn't follow your traditional hero's journey. He starts off his character arc as a farmer, living with his aunt and uncle on the desert planet Tatooine. It's not until his aunt and uncle are killed by stormtroopers that Luke's hand is forced to join Obi-Wan on their quest to travel to Alderaan to learn the ways of the Force. When I saw this movie for the first time a while back, I couldn't envision any other actor other than Mark Hamill playing the role of Luke Skywalker, as the caring and humble qualities that Hamill conveys in his performance allow me to care for Luke very quickly. Alec Guinness is the standout performer as Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi. Guinness plays the role with a lot of conviction in that he underlines the all-knowing and wise qualities in Obi-Wan. At the same time, Guinness never comes across as cocky and arrogant in conveying these qualities. Obi-Wan becomes Luke's moral compass in the story, and their relationship with each other is the emotional through line in the movie. I totally bought the teacher and pupil relationship between these characters, and a large part of that comes down to Hamill and Guinness playing their respective roles with a degree of realism. Harrison Ford is memorable and quotable as Han Solo, as he oozes charisma whenever he appears on screen. Ford's laid-back, carefree approach to the role gives not only his character, but the movie as a whole, a healthy dose of levity. The late Carrie Fisher turns in a great performance as Princess Leia, in a role that was definitely ahead of its time. She's a strong, fearless female character that is not burdened by the conflict surrounding her, and Fisher conveys these qualities with such ease. After rewatching this movie, I was happy to see that George Lucas uses minimal exposition to explain the mythology of Star Wars. This meant that the movie moves along at a fast pace, which makes it exciting and entertaining to watch. Another reason why the fast pace works so well, it comes from the story throwing conflicts in the way of our heroes at every imaginable moment. From Princess Leia being imprisoned by the Empire at the beginning of the story, to the Empire killing Luke Skywalker's aunt and uncle. The script and direction ensures that any potential route to victory for our heroes is not an easy one, as the emphasis of conflict within the story meant that I genuinely cared for the fate of the protagonists. Because the use of CGI in movies was in its infancy during the production of A New Hope, it meant that Lucas and his production crew filmed the action set pieces either on location or on set. The opening sequence alone that was achieved through miniature sets, as well as the climatic aerial battle between the rebels and the Empire, is still of a visceral quality that's exciting and tense to watch, with the majority of the special effects still holding up. Those loud, bombastic orchestral sounds as the Star Wars title card appears, it immediately immersed me into this universe. I can't imagine this movie without the presence of John Williams' music, as the score only magnifies the grand epic scale of the Star Wars universe. So overall, with a movie that's exciting, tense, with memorable performances across the board, and for me one of the greatest movies of all time, I'm going to give Star Wars: A New Hope a perfect 10 out of 10. So, and I hand it over to you guys, and now I want to hear your thoughts on whether or not you enjoyed Star Wars: A New Hope. It'd be interesting to see if you don't enjoy this movie, so I'd love to have a chat with you in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this movie review, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to hit the notification bell for updates on the latest reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.